Hey, everybody, welcome live to the Jim Masters Show, live entertainment lifestyle celebrity talk show series. Guess who I am? Jim Masters. Yes, the name that's there and down there. And I don't know where else we can place that name, but hey, cool to have you here. Thanks for joining us. We had a fabulous Thanksgiving holiday here in the United States with our family and friends. And now we're back in action, our post-Thanksgiving episode. It is the holiday season. So happy holidays, everybody, at the time of this show. Boy, do we have a fantastic guest who's joining us here at JMS. She's actually coming to us from the other side of North America, Canada, but Vancouver. Beautiful city. We're just talking about how that's one place I have yet on my Jim Masters bucket list to travel to. We've done Europe, we've done Bermuda, we've been to Mexico, other parts of Canada, throughout America. I have not been to Vancouver yet, so maybe I'll have a reason to go real soon. Maybe I'll be sent out on a TV shoot or something, or just visit family and friends. But that's where she is, and you've seen her face on a lot of great television shows and films, a lot of big stuff, and she's excited because she's going to be sharing some really cool projects and new things that she's doing, that she's working on. And of course, we're going to go down memory lane, take a look at some of the other things she's done that may trigger a memory too for you. She's an epic actress for film and television. Yeah. And she's a voice actress too. She's lent her voice to projects. And guess what? She's a stunt woman too. Yes, a stunt person extraordinaire. She does a lot of the stunts in the shows and movies herself. She's got a whole, career in that vein, which is really cool. Who are we talking about? None other than Lisa Chandler joining us here live on the Jim Masters Show for this exclusive live uncut interview and conversation. I know we say interview, but these are really epic conversations. Joining us here from America, that's where I am, here in the New York area. We welcome you. If you'd like to participate in the show itself, you can do that. We're very interactive here at JMS. And hey, before we start, look what we've got here. Ooh, let's see. Maybe I'll just go like that. Look at that. You know what that says? Lovity spoken here. That is from one of our faithful JMS viewers who had that custom made. It's right above the I Dream a Genie bottle. You see it there? And this is a star that's really exclusive that came in from one of our lovely viewers. This was for my birthday. This is from Kathleen Walker in New York City. This is from Maureen Wiedepal in Arizona, USA. She had this made, Lovity, which, is sort of the branding of our show, by accident, spoken here. So cool. Look at that. We're being, this whole set is being surrounded by lots of cool things from our viewers and some of our guests. Of course, the Genie bottle is mine, and some of these other cool things are awards and what have you. But nice, huh? It adds to the feel here at JMS. All right. Enough about the set. We've got a guest here who's really excited to be here. We're excited to have her here. And let me tell you a little about her. Again, you've seen so many great things that she's been in, and she is in something really exciting. I'm going to tell you about in just a second. She's a multi-talented actress whose past roles have included Altered Carbon, Fire Country, Nancy Drew, Suits, The Detour, Lucifer. Also, even the film adaptation of Sonic the Hedgehog. In addition to her on-screen acting performances, her athletic talents shine as she fearlessly tackles her own stunts. She's done that on shows such as Supergirl, The Flash, and Batwoman, and The Fall of the House of Usher, just to name the few. And recently had the newly released Buddy Games 2 Spring Awakening as Tabatha, starring Josh Duhamel, which released in June, as well as Longlegs, starring Nick Cage, as Mother Camera, being released in the winter of 2023. Her remarkable journey. We're going to share some of that with you here exclusively on the Jim Masters Show, JMS. It really showcases an unwavering dedication to what she does. She absolutely loves what she does. And this is really going to be some conversation. We're looking forward to it. And again, if you'd like to participate, you can comment in our lovely whole chat room there. Say hi and chat in the chat room. If you don't know what the chat room is, it is there for you. You subscribe to the YouTube channel and you get to chat in the chat room. It's a gift for us to you. She's also in Billy the Kid, the epic romantic adventure inspired by the life of America's most infamous outlaw. Continuing in season 2 as Billy and his allies square off against his oldest friend, Jesse Evans, and the corrupt powers of the Santa Fe Ring. And with shots fired, the conflict erupts to the Lincoln County War. And amidst the fighting, Billy will struggle to hang out onto his soul and to the love of his life. And that is really epic. We're going to be talking about that in just a second. But before we have her come on in just a second, we want to show you a couple of the things you may remember. As I mentioned, Lucifer she's been in that. SWAT Under Siege. Yes, she's been in that as well. As we mentioned, Billy the Kid, which is really, really exciting. We'll talk about that. And there's from SWAT, the movie. As I mentioned, she does her own stunts. This is from Supernatural, which is really cool. Look at that. Huh? And of course, Nancy Drew, Hoax. You may remember that as well. And those of you who love the Hallmark Channel, and many of you do. Yep, she's been in Hallmark movies as well. There you go, right there on the screen. Yes, all the Hallmark viewers are like, yeah, wow, we love her even more now. She does it all. She's a talented actress. There's Sonic the Hedgehog, the film adaptation she did. She was involved in that as well. Also within, this is just a short list, folks. Just showing you a few things on Tubi. Deadly Midwife. Yes, and I mentioned Altered Carbon in that as well. Look at that. Look about, take a look at that, huh? Phenomenal makeup job there. And there's another shot too. Some more great shots. We just picked a few things. It's kind of like peekaboo when we do this. It's fun. So the host is here. The guest is there. The host is there. Stuff Gang, and this is just a short list. We are excited to welcome her, as I mentioned, live and direct from Vancouver, Canada. Put your hands together. Applause, applause, applause as we welcome our special guest, Lisa Chandler, to the Jim Masters Show live. Lisa, welcome.
Wow.
This is your life. Kind of cool, huh?
Intro was amazing. I should have recorded that. So when I wake up in the morning, I just play that to boost me up.
Well, all you have to do is watch this archived on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV,
great.
and you got it.
Thank you so much.
You are welcome. Hey, viewers, and JMS Lovities. She is already a Lovity because she's been watching episodes of our series, and she loves the episode with Lucy Arnaz, who's a dear friend, has been on our show. So thanks for watching our series and being a fan of what we do here, which I think is awesome. So you kind of had to have an idea of the flow and what we're all about here.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Thanks for having me on, Jim. This is great. Really fun.
Absolutely. So you are in Vancouver, and how's Vancouver right now? I mentioned that's one city I want to go to. It's nice, huh?
Well, sun's going down, but we've actually had an amazing fall. I'm not going to lie. It's pretty dry.
Yeah.
We normally have the wet season kind of creep in, but it's been pretty nice. So no complaints. And
just so you know, folks, because sometimes people may question, especially in the age of the internet, is everything behind her a green screen? No, if you notice, she actually moved the curtains and they moved the snake plants real. I mean, that's her place.
Real home, kids.
That's the real home. I was telling you, I was in Canada on a television shoot in the spring, a little bit east of you, Edmonton, and it was a cool place. We got a chance to go to the Alberta Art Gallery and just a lot of different
it's gorgeous
places.
There.
It really, really is, and the food is good, and the people are nice and all. Did you grow up in Vancouver?
No, I was born in BC, just out we have wine country here. It's our Okanagan.
Yeah.
So I was born there, and then I lived in Ontario for a good chunk of my life. So I was out in Toronto kind of in my 20s where I became a young adult. And then I crept over here actually in 2010, Olympics, Vancouver hosted. Great time to be here.
Very nice. Yeah.
It was amazing. And that's when I got kind of into the whole world of film a little bit more. And then I went back to Toronto for one last year to kind of get it out of my system just because I love Toronto so much. Yeah. And then I've been back here 2016. Yeah.
Wow. That's fantastic. Now you've been going back and forth between here and the States too, right? You end up in Hollywood. Does the travel take you to New York and other places as well?
I was in another Hollywood. I was in Hollywood, Florida, actually. Close, no cigar, but I was living in Florida for a couple of years, toddler years, I would say, and then a little bit in elementary school. So I got kind of a lay of the land in Florida. Let's just say that. And I actually really like it. I know people
I know a lot of people from Canada
make
that
fun of Florida,
do.
but I have like a soft spot for it. I don't know what it is. I love Florida. I really
Yeah,
do.
it is
I
very
know people
scenic.
go to retire and that, but I don't know. I loved
We have
it.
a lot of family there. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
okay, nice.
from the
Nice.
Northeast, from up here. It's that whole thing. It's that what do they say, snowbirds.
Yeah.
So this time of the year, while it's getting colder, they all heads. Everybody heads south to Florida
Yeah.
for 6
Geese.
months or what have you, and then when it gets hot down there, they come up north. Back to their roots in the Northeast
Yep.
and the Midwest and all, and it's kind of interesting. A lot of it's probably a generic statement, but a lot of times it seems like a lot of people like from the East Coast of the United States go predominantly to the east side of Florida, the east coast of Florida.
Yeah.
And
The
again,
classic drive, I-95.
yes,
all the
we've
way
done
down.
that. Yeah, we're going for the holidays too to see family. We're flying. We're not
Yeah.
going to do the drive this time. It's an epic drive. We've seen every
It's epic.
Waffle
I've done
House.
it.
And, yeah, we've seen every Waffle House, every Stuckey's, every Bickford's. All the
Oh yeah.
3
Yeah.
o'clock in the morning. Who wants to
Yep.
eat? Let's go to the
Oh, I've
Waffle
done
House.
that.
It's
There's
open.
a section, I think it was, I don't know, where was it? Northern Georgia, I think on the strip on I-95, they have like 5 different,
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, like all the motels, and you can see like they have the big billboard signs of the price per room. And I remember I was
Yes.
like, I don't know, I was in my 20s, and I was like, I think one of the rooms was like, I think it started like 150, and then the next billboard was like 140, and then 130, and then 120. And I'm like, I can get it down to $70. I swear, I can get it down
I
to
wonder
$70.
is that south of the border as you're
No,
heading towards the border of North Carolina, South Carolina. They have all those billboards.
Yeah, it
You are
might have been
500
around
miles
there.
away, 200 miles
Yeah.
away,
Yes.
100 miles away. Good
Yeah.
south
And
of
there's
the
like,
border.
and for some reason, the Waffle House sign is always the tallest sign.
Yeah, aren't they? Yes.
I know.
You
You're
know-
like, well, it's like a beacon. I guess I gotta go get some grits.
We went to, we stopped off a couple of years ago when we did the drive. We've done the drive several times from the Northeast, but we had never gone to south of the border. We've been to Disney, SeaWorld, all the great places, the coasts, all of it, but we never went to south of the border. So one time we had a little extra time. We're like, what a tease. All these billboards for hundreds of miles leading up to it. And then there it is. And we always drive past it. And you always see bumper stickers on people's cars. Hey, I went to south of the border. We went there. We pulled off one of the days. And they have the sort of the amusement area and the motel and the restaurant and the this and the that and the big, a hat, Mexican hat and the whole thing. There was like nobody there. It was like an episode of like a horror movie. There were a couple cars here and there. We didn't see any people. This big place with the billboards that everybody says they go to, we didn't see anybody. And it was broad daylight. We're like, oh, no. Are we on a set? Is this a set?
Yeah. It's just
really,
like one person selling like tourist stuff in the back of their car.
They did have the gift shop is loaded with all the goodies. So do you do a lot of travel for your work as an actress and performer?
Most of it, I've been grateful, has been in Canada, mostly in the Vancouver area. We've had a really good dump of work.
Yes.
Especially a lot of the CW stuff was shot here.
That's right.
That kept almost every studio booked.
Yes,
so
right.
Vancouver's been quite the hub, I would say, for the past couple of years. Yeah,
it really has. It really has. It's it's a beautiful location, and it's easy for folks that are in like LA to just go straight up north.
Yeah, it's definitely convenient with LA people because it's the same time zone.
Yeah,
and just phone calls making it easier down south is just a lot quicker. You don't have to like wait for I said, time zones and flights. It's very rare to have a layover in LA. Most of them are all direct, and you can just mock so many locations here to make it look like New Mexico, Texas, Alaska, you name it. Like there's just so many different areas that you can shoot to just tweak it and fake it, really. Yeah. It works.
Sounds like a law firm. Tweak it and fake it.
Well, it is what it is, Jim.
That's it. So how did the acting bug bite you? And were you an athlete before you went into acting? What came first for you, the chicken or the egg in this case?
That's a tough one. If I was to really pin it, I'd probably say the athleticism. would say. I first started out playing sports, and then I did a play that I got paid for when I was about, 12, 13. And it didn't register to me that people on TV make money. It didn't click at all. So when they were saying, "Oh, it's paid," I'm like, okay, yeah, sure, yeah, cool. And then I got the check. And as soon as I got the check, I was like, oh, this is how it works. Okay. So from there, I just kind of was like interested more in furthering the avenue of doing plays and making it a full-time thing. But I didn't know that at the time. I was kind of discovering it at the same time. So I was playing hockey quite a bit growing up. That was my main sport. And from there, I was trying to get scholarships and whatnot. So then I ended up playing actually just south of Edmonton in Calgary, Mount Royal College. Played there for a bit. And then I moved back to the Okanagan, was trying out for some local women's teams. We didn't really have a whole lot here. So then I went out to Ontario, tried out for some teams out there, and I got onto a team out in Oakville. And then from there, I was living in Toronto, trying to play hockey, juggle it, also trying to audition and do theater, trying to do commercials, trying to get in there somehow, but I didn't know how.
Right.
Yeah, and for women's sports, for hockey, it's expensive, not gonna lie. And you kind of have a path. It's like, do you want to do Team Canada or just want to play for fun? So there was kind of like how do I navigate this with doing the auditions? And it was impossible. Like it was really, really hard. So I kind of had to make a choice. So I kind of hung up the laces-ish temporarily, right, and then pursued the acting. And then from there, figured out-ish my life in my 20s, moved out here to BC, and I was actually being a stand-in for Kate Beckinsale on a movie called Underworld. He was Underworld 4. And I just saw in the distance the stunt department. And I didn't really know too much about it. And I was just like, that's interesting. Okay. Well, and I thought they were all gymnasts, but the people that I was watching were all gymnasts. But I was like, oh, they're doing flips. Oh, they're crawling. Oh, they're doing this. But I just remember asking questions, and everybody kind of came from a wide range of an athletic background. So I was just intrigued. And then from there, I just kind of got in maybe one gig after another, and kind of made a career out of it. Yeah.
Oh, cool. What was the big break, or what was the first opportunity that led to eventually that bigger break for you? Was it commercials? Was it a play? What was it for you?
It's interesting because that term big break, it's like, I love it and hate it because from the viewer, it looks like a big break, but behind the scenes, it's so many pieces that you don't see that there is no one big break.
You know, it's funny that you say that, because we've had guests who've come on who have been doing it for like 50 years, and they'll be like, big break. I'm still waiting for it.
100%. I'm still waiting.
One is the big break. The next thing is the big break. The next one, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Or because it's all perspective too, right? So it's all like
door opening opportunity.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So with the door opening, I would say after I was standing in on Underworld, I went and followed Kate Beckinsale up to Toronto, and I was standing in for her on Total Recall. And the stunt coordinator knew that I had an interest. And so I was helping out, moving pads, whatever. So on second unit, on a small little gag, he kind of threw me in and was like, all right, you're in, kid. So he let me do a stunt. And then from there, I came back. And that was what kind of snowballed it and helped me get into the union, helped me really get it. So when I came out here, back to Vancouver, I was in on paper. And then I just put a resume all together. But that, I would say, really kind of kickstarted everything. That really boosted it, I would say, for sure.
So you knew that this is something that you loved and you wanted to pursue and you wanted to do more of. And it's not always an easy industry to pursue and to want to do more of, but you really got a chance to hone your skills. And then some of these opportunities did really sort of develop for you in such a great way. I love the fact that you have both you've done voice work too, but the acting and the stunt work, when you first offered that up to people, you said, I could do the stunt too. Were they at first like, what, really? Oh my God. What was that reaction like when you told them that you could? Or were you thrown into
I
it?
want that to be the story, but that was not the case at all.
You just thrown in?
I kept the worlds very separate. I didn't tell any casting director that I did stunts, and I didn't tell any stunt coordinator that I acted, because I thought that they were going to not take me serious on either side. So there are certain casting directors that kind of knew me for only coming in for like stunt actor roles, which is a role where you have dialogue and you also do a stunt. So that's a stunt actor role. It's like literally just that. That's the world, stunt actor. And so certain casting directors knew me for that. And then other casting directors had no clue I did stunts, and I kept them very hush hush and very separate. And so I didn't want stunt coordinators to know that I acted, because I thought they were not going to take me serious as a stunt performer. And I didn't want to like mix the two. And then after over years of like them be like, no, this is a good thing. You should tell people, like, you're an added little bonus. I was like, okay. So then I started to like open up to tell people and talk about it, but I kept it very mum's the word kind of thing. Nope. I wanted to be taken serious in one category, and I didn't want the other to know. So yeah, it was interesting. Yeah.
And then they sort of blended, right?
They did, yeah. And then from there,
there
was more and more stunt actor roles that kind of came my way, and I just told everybody. Then I was like, oh, it's like I opened a closet, and it was like it kind of fell on me, and I was like, this is great. Okay, I got to really hone into this. So then I just started really grinding down and just doing the work and telling people, hey, yeah, I can do my own. But it's also the resume kind of speaks for itself. Like you have two separate resumes. You have like a stunt resume, which shows all your stunts and physical abilities, and then you have your acting, which shows you worked on which movies, your skill set, your training. So they're two separate, but same world, but two separate. So
it's interesting, right?
I would pick and choose who I would hand it to.
Right. Yeah. In these fields, it works that way. So like my case, being a television, radio broadcast person, it breaks out the same way. You have the hosting and the entertainment, and then maybe the news part, news, weather, sports, whatever. And then the theater and film, voice work, and all of those things can be totally separate niches of their own.
And you pick and choose who you like talk to about certain things. Am I right?
Yes, right. Exactly. Yeah. Yes. If you're talking to people who are narrators and announcers, they do tons of voice work, or, voice work in the animation world, or they're announcers on stations, totally different conversation maybe than somebody that is starring, on a Broadway play. Which is really interesting. So it makes for good conversation, and you end up winning a lot of Trivial Pursuit games because some of each. It's true.
You know, random like bits of information,
bits of things. Yeah, like when you're having like Thanksgiving, and you mentioned with the family, who here knows what a grip is?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
That's like the pliers. No. Something different. Yes.
No.
But not for or the gaffer,
Yeah, exactly. Well, you get it. You understand totally. Two separate worlds, but not at the same time.
Exactly. We have evidence of some of the. Look at that, huh?
That was Heather Graham. She was lovely. We had to age ourselves and burn ourselves, and that was fun. That was actually a really fun shoot.
And tell them what this was for. Yeah,
this was for, I think it was called Flowers in the Attic, I believe.
Yeah.
This was a series. This was I believe it was 3 books.
Yeah.
That were written, and then they shot them. And this, we had to do a burn gag. Actually, we had Brett Armstrong was our stunt coordinator at the time for the show. Yeah. I believe right in the background actually was our director. And we had I believe it was a barn that we burned. We had fire on the 2 back walls. And then we had one wall that had to fall down and land on another beam like this. And then we had to crawl underneath and through and kind of get pinned, make it look like we're getting pinned, but the whole thing had to collapse down. And it was a really good gag. But she was a trooper.
That was like
yeah. It looks like we're
look at the
traumatized,
expressions
but
on your
we're actually
faces
having
too.
fun.
Yeah, the expressions like
We're like, what are we doing? Why did we sign up for this? Okay, let's do
that's
this.
right.
Okay.
If you guys were coming down the street looking like that at 3 o'clock in the morning and asked me if you needed a ride, I'd have to
Yeah.
think twice if I'm going to open
Yeah.
that door.
Yeah, you're like, what bar did you guys hit up?
It's like, okay. Am I? Yeah, I know. Here's
That's a
another.
Friday night. Oh yeah, Supernatural. That was a fun show. I loved working on that show. It was always something different. The boys, Jared and Jensen, were just great to work on.
Yes.
I was working with Lou Bolo at the time, who was our stunt coordinator. God bless him. Yeah, he gave me a lot of work on that show, a lot of opportunities and lots of growth. And yeah, that was a fun. The studio was great. It was just off Marine Drive, and they had so many sets and so many different locations that they just changed over and over. And you would be like, oh wow, this was a bedroom. Now it's a kitchen. Now it's a locker room. Now it's a jail cell, just by like paint. And just, it was insane. It was amazing. But that's movie world. But yeah, that was a fun show. I loved working on that show. It was great.
Yeah, that's a great one. And we also have this, just mixing things up for everybody. Look at this.
Yeah, true story. That one, actually.
That was on Lifetime. We were talking about Lifetime. She's been on Lifetime. She's been on Hallmark. We have a lot of folks that watch our show that love Lifetime and love Hallmark. If you get
that was a stunt actor role, actually. That one hoax.
Really?
Yeah, you shoot a lot, and then a lot of it gets trimmed.
Yes, that's what happens. Yeah.
Well, it is what it is. But we had a whole little scene beforehand. But that was a fun one.
I mentioned Hallmark too for all the fans of Hallmark.
That was a fun one. That was with Alexander Breckenridge. That one. That was.
That's right.
Why am I having a brain moment? That one was Shop. Oh God. Oh my God. I'm on point right now. Shopping for Love, I believe it was called, that one.
Does it say underneath where it says all new? I think it says the title right there.
Oh no, that's an ad, I think, for something else. I think it was called Shopping for Love, I believe, this one. But that was with Alexander Breckenridge, and that was a fun one. We actually shot that on Vancouver Island.
That's beautiful.
Over a span of a couple of weeks. But yeah, it was
it's amazing because
Jackie and Harry.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They have the folks who watch Lifetime and who watch Hallmark, and when you're in those movies on those networks, they're like a cult following. And it's then especially like with the Christmas shows, you see a lot of we've had Paul Green on a couple of times, who's a friend of, I've known him personally before the show, and he's been a guest on the show as well. And you've seen him in so many of the Christmas movies at that time. And once you get cast and the fans respond, they'll bring you back for like a lot of different roles for the
I know. One of my closest girlfriends, she does the Hallmark, Cindy Busby, and I think she leaves Christmas Con, I think, like in 2 days out in Jersey. Right, she's like, that's they
always
love
on,
her.
and
that's great. And then we've got a show here, one calls The Heart, and all the fans are called Hardys.
Yeah, that's right.
Hardy fans, and they're super sweet and adorable, and just the shows get made because of the fans. So really, it's amazing. It's great.
You've also yourself been involved with some really great franchises too, like SWAT, Under Siege. Tell us about how this came about for you. This is cool.
This one, oh my gosh, I remember putting that on. I practiced at home putting that one on tape. That was a stunt actor role, actually, and it was pretty small to begin with, and then they kind of expanded it a little larger. And then I was away when they told me I booked that, and I remember flying back, and we had a whole fight sequence choreography previs kind of set up, and then something happened with the location, so we just actually rehearsed it in the back of a psych hospital that we shoot here at quite often, believe it or not.
Kind of eerie, huh? You thought you were you were watching The Shining or something with Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. Well, we shoot at this psych hospital very often, so you start to kind of know areas that you go, areas that you don't. Some parts are haunted, some parts aren't. But anyways, we were shooting on the backside, and we had this whole, and we had Michael J. White in it, and he's an amazing martial artist and an actor. And I was just watching him on the side do his rehearsal, and I was like, this guy's talented. This guy is like the real deal. But that movie was a really fun one to shoot. Actually, we had explosions. I had heavy Kevlar gear running, like full gear running, shooting an M5 and an M16, and then we had squib hits off of all of us. It was I was like, this is great. This is so much
Bring
fun.
it on, right?
This is what I signed up for. You know, when you envision something and then it happens, you're like, wow, okay, let's do this.
Do you think, I don't know if they even still have it. We've had some guests on who, are fabulous actresses in Hollywood and all, but on the side, I think Tammy Locke might have one that did it as well. The roller derby. Would you, if you had an opportunity to participate in the roller derby, do you think you would?
I think I've been on roller skates once in my life, but yeah, why not? I'm more of a rollerblader.
Yeah,
and they're different.
They are different. Yes.
Don't say they're similar. They're not.
They
and I
are
give
not.
roller skaters credit because it's different. You gotta work those ankles a little differently. But I think I'd be down for that. Yeah.
Yeah. You sound like somebody who challenges themselves. I was just watching an interview. I think it was on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, I think, with Jared Leto.
Okay.
And he had just, he pushes himself, musician, actor, all of these incredible things. But he was talking about how just a couple of weeks ago, he scaled the Empire State Building in New York City to the top because he wanted to, because he loves climbing. He loves challenging himself. I think he lived in the desert for, I don't know, number of weeks himself alone. I mean, he just challenges himself. Are you somebody who likes to do that too? Do you like risk challenges?
Yeah, I like to. I love sports in general. Like I don't think I've said no to a sport, or maybe something's come my way and I was just like, nah, it's not for me. But I don't remember saying no to most, sports or trying. But I do. I'm a thrill seeker. I'm just going to say that. I do love being challenged. It's more of a mental challenge, actually, more than a physical challenge. I do a lot of free diving, and free diving is a different sport than scuba. Free diving, I would say, is 90% mental for me.
Yeah, the
focus but it's mental for sure. And then there's the physical, training, which is you have to do a lot of training. But for me personally, it's a mental sport for sure. Just calming your breath hold, relaxing, knowing, you're not going to die with having this much CO2 to a degree. But for me, I love being challenged for sure. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. What is the greatest challenge you've ever given yourself that you can recall? And it doesn't even have to necessarily be something you physically did, like jumping off a cliff or something, but something where you really pushed yourself, mind, body, and spirit.
If we're talking being physical, I had to do a gag. It doesn't sound like a whole lot, but it was a Netflix movie called Death Note, and I was doubling Margaret Qualley, and we were shooting it at C-SPAN, which is like it's basically where the shipping yards are in North Van, where the massive ferries come and fix them. So the ceiling on in this building it's crazy. I don't even know how high it is, but it's insane. But I was on a wire all the way at the top, and we had riggers at the top that basically they're on trellises up at the top, making it safe. And I was so high up, I could see it said emergency latch open, and I could read it crystal clear. And I was like, okay, I'm high. I'm really high. And you're only on one line, and you're just like, okay, yeah. And basically what happens is they open the line up, and you just basically free fall drop all the way down. And we've got pads on the bottom in case anything happens. But when I remember looking up, just going, okay, all right. Did I sign my insurance? Yeah. Okay. Did I have breakfast? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Dogs fed. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I locked the house. Okay. Let's do this. you're just like, well, it is what, you know what I mean? Like, okay, this is the heights. This is it. But it doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when you're with like 100 feet,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and you're on,
Right.
then it's not so much like the height part, but when you look at how, like the lines they're very, very strong. Like there's
Yeah.
nothing, they're strong. But when you see it, it's like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, okay, all right,
Yeah.
hold
Not,
me.
not much there to hold you, right?
But they
I,
work, honestly. Like I love them. I trust my riggers, the stunt coordinator. I have massive faith in them, especially the team that we worked with. But it's still in the back of your head. You're just like, okay,
yeah.
okay,
Very cool, huh? I know, right?
Yeah,
It's when
yeah.
but when you
The
do,
small ones. It's always the small ones that
it's the
kind of
small
get
ones. When you do stuff like that, it just gives you may already be assured and confident, but it just adds to the confidence. So when other things get thrown your way, you've already sort of gotten through some hurdles and experienced things. You're able to take them on with a fresh
100%.
perspective, right?
Oh, absolutely. And it makes you apply everything that you just remember and how you felt for the next time.
Yes.
You're like, okay, I felt this, 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 and this. Okay. And I knew that I was okay because of this, this, and this. How do I play that next time?
Right.
Okay. I got this. Okay. I
Yeah.
did my checklist. Everything's fine. So you
Right.
just kind of, you sink more and more into it every time. It's really just knowledge,
Yeah. You're in touch with
applied
yourself.
over time, and you
Yeah.
just start to, you
You're
build
depending on
confidence in what you're doing. And it's okay to ask questions. I've learned that over time. It's okay to ask,
Right.
with really any industry, but especially our industry, it's okay to ask questions. You're not going to get penalized. You're not going to get,
No, right.
yelled at. And if you do, then that's really on them and their ego. But for most
Yeah.
part, it's okay to ask questions. And
That's how you learn.
yeah, it's just, trial and error, practice,
Well,
practice.
yeah. I would say real brief, and this audience has heard it a number of times, but it happened way before I started this series. One of the challenges that I did, which wasn't even something I prepared for, something I expected to do, was I was on a television shoot in a little desert town west of Las Vegas, Nevada, and it was Pahrump, Nevada, and we had the rental car, and the camera guy had to go back to LA because they needed him once our shoot was done, but I still had some time before my flight left Vegas to come back here to the East Coast. And I actually somehow I was driving through the town because I like to explore nooks and crannies and places I've never been to and soak it all up. Not always just the touristy places, but just what makes this place tick kind of thing.
Yeah.
Desert town pops up out of nowhere or west of Vegas. And I actually I don't know what pushed me in, but I took the rental car in August heat with no supplies, no charged cell phones, no water, nobody in the car with me, rental car, family, friends not there. And I drove completely through Death Valley desert.
And it's called that for a reason.
Alone with no supplies in a rental car in August heat. It was extraordinary. It was when I came out of that, we were filming in Greece for a television travel series.
Wow.
And the producers wanted it on Samothrace Island, this really cool rugged island 7 miles away from Turkey. And the producers wanted us to dive into this black cove where there was no way to really get in it other than sliding off these rocks, and then you're in it. And it had like this big wall of stone and a huge waterfall coming down. And it was like this cove. It was really amazing. We met these people from Turkey and other parts of Europe who were sort of in the woods doing whatever they were doing. But what was really amazing was the water was pitch black. Pitch black. The water was fresh water, so you don't float. And the water was probably colder than the coldest lake in Canada. It was frigid. It was unreal. It was breathtakingly cold water.
Right.
I mean, where if you didn't have asthma, you suddenly felt like you did because there's no, you're not in salt water, so you're not buoyant. You're, not floating, and it's all you. Yeah. And then the girls who took us there, who live in the town, because we were sort of featuring this family, following this family, they go, "Oh, guys, we just wanted to tell you something." And we're like, "What? What now?" We're in this black cove, and we're in the middle. They said there's no measurable bottom. and
Are you
suddenly,
serious?
and suddenly, when you're in jet black water that's coming up to about here, frigid, cold, fresh water,
Oh my God.
and you're like, what? What's down there? Hell
How deep does it go?
or
Yeah,
the Loch Ness
exactly.
monster? What is
Yeah.
so suddenly you lost the sense of any grounding, depth, anything, and it just
Yeah. It's like the
became
opposite feeling of being claustrophobic. When it's so open and vast, people feel like, oh, it's too much. They need to touch something like
and
the
black
ground or a
water
wall.
too, jet black, frigid, cold
Yeah.
water. It was
Yeah.
just, and I think I was very agreeable to do it, for the shot. The camera guys were up on
Oh, it's always for the shot. That's
they
what they
were up
always
on
do.
the cliff getting us swimming in it and everything, because we were featuring Tabatha Island. And it was really cool. I mean, I'm so glad I did it. It was part of the whole shoot. But it's just one of those things where I think if I hadn't done the Death Valley alone experience first, I might
Right.
not have been so like, sure, let's slide off these rocks and then try to
Right.
climb up the rocks, which are wet and slippery, to hoist yourself up and out of the Black Cove.
Totally.
It was just really so.
Wow. Okay,
Like,
wait. Hang on. Back that soul train up. So what happened in Death Valley? How was the car? Did you break down or was it fine?
it was amazing. It was really fantastic because I drove all the way in and all the way back, and there was a couple of things real quick. And people told me I should do a movie or documentary or book on it or something. But it was a life-changing thing for me because
Wow.
every time I was taking the rental car through that town, for some reason, it kept bringing me to the entrance of Death Valley. And Death Valley is not Disney World. There's no lights. There's no clowns and cotton candy. It's just a sign with an arrow, Death Valley. And I was looking down the road, and you could see the steam bubbling off that road. You see in the movies, you
Yeah,
see
the
in
haze.
Westerns and all that.
Yeah.
The haze. And something just pushed me in. It was really unreal. And I went in, and for about 15 minutes, I was questioning whether or not I should keep going, not because of any fear of what was possibly ahead. It was the fact that I didn't have loved ones and friends in the car to share it with,
Right.
because I'm communal. I like to present. I like to host. I like to be the one that
Yes.
fills the drink glasses. Do you
Yeah.
need some more? I'm going to run to the kitchen and get another bottle or whatever.
Yeah.
So being that kind of person, and I
Yeah.
had no opportunity to do that in the rental car. It was just me and my
Right.
reflection. I went in and I had tremendous self-imposed guilt about not sharing this with family and friends, this monumental place, monumental experience. I had put it on a pedestal like Grand Canyon and the Acropolis and the Eiffel Tower and Statue of Liberty and all these things. And I just was questioning if I should go back to the hotel. And then I felt, this may sound a little interesting, but this is the part where people say you really should do something on this. I did feel like there's really powerful energies that sort of were pulling at me. And one was Mother Nature,
Yeah.
surrounded by Mother Nature. The second was that I felt the real pull of the planet, the earth, because Death Valley is all stripped dirt, earth.
Yeah.
And for me, I probably would not have gotten anything out of it if it was a city with a skyline, because I'm familiar with that. It couldn't be lush suburbs, familiar with that. Couldn't have been a forest, familiar with that. And my go-to place, because we're here on the East Coast of the US, is the ocean. That is the place, swimming, surfing, boogie boarding, walking it. Just something happens, and I always crave to be at the ocean. So it couldn't have been any of those things. It had to be raw, stripped earth, 400 degrees, risky, rental car. I haven't told anybody I'm doing it. No supplies, nothing.
Yeah.
And so I felt
these for a reason. The universe is calling to you,
And I felt the energy of a divine like guiding me, saying, look, we're here. Mother Nature's here. And, you've got all these things around you, the pull of the earth, Mother Nature, and this divine. Up to you, Jim. You want to keep going and see what happens? Challenge yourself. Or do you want to go back to the hotel and fly out?
It's safe.
Right. And I said, well, maybe one day I'll come back with family and friends. And then something said, well, maybe you'll never come back here again. You don't know. So I said, what the? And I just went, and I went all the way through it. And what was really cool was the family and friends never put this on me. I put it on myself, being communal. The feeling of this self-imposed guilt that family and friends weren't here and I wasn't providing other people's joy lifted. Suddenly it became my experience, my situation. So it became even richer and like adventurous and exciting. It was really cool. And went all the way through to pictures and made it all the way back because the flight was, that next afternoon. And people will say, what'd you get out of that? And I'll say a couple of real important things. That the world will continue to spin on its axis, whether I rescue it all the time or not. The world will keep spinning.
That's a big one.
That when you're on an airplane, and I've been on a lot of them this year, flying for shoots and stuff, it was, I still cringe a little bit, but I would always, when the flight attendant would say, in the event of an emergency, if that mask drops, put it on you first before you help the other person. That's not me. That's not how we were raised.
I love that saying. I do. I really love that saying. Because we tend to do exactly what you're talking about. Is like help the other person. It's like, no, I got to take care of myself first.
That's the thing, right? That's exactly. And I've had so many people say that, and that's the analogy that they use. And I'm like, but you don't know. Whenever I heard that, I said, boy, that's greedy. That's selfish. We're supposed to help thy fellow man. You're supposed to help thy neighbor. And now I understand.
That's society telling you that you should do that.
Help everybody.
In reality, it's actually not like that at all. You're supposed to. How can you tend to other people if you don't have the water in your mouth first?
Right. Exactly right. So, and then the third thing I think is that there will be experiences that'll happen. Like here, I'm presented with Death Valley at my feet, where I'm the only one in the room at that time. So this is an opportunity. And this is a gift presented me. And you can either shun it and go away from it, or you can grab it, make it your own and go with it. But there will be times where you'll see things and things you'll experience where you couldn't get people in their cars to you fast enough to join you in it. So live it and experience it. I can't tell you how many times I've been on the Massachusetts Turnpike and I'm doing the driving and other people in the car nodded off, or they're looking this way, in the back they're sleeping or whatever. And I see the shooting star. I see it all the time. Did you see that? They're like, see what? What? You didn't see it again.
Yeah.
They're all messages. It's really cool
I know.
stuff.
I've learned from someone wise. They told me once, the universe is either pulling you away from something or they're pushing you towards something. And whether you want to hone in on that feeling and acknowledge it and do it and listen to it, it's telling you for a reason. So good on you for
I said, the only thing I said is, how come this didn't happen when I was like 18 or, 25?
You're supposed to experience it then. You're supposed to.
That's what they say.
Then now, when it happened to you.
Right. That you had to have lived life, had different experiences, and then you're brought to this area for a work-related purpose. And then this opportunity was there and a gift was presented. If you were 18 or 25 or whatever, you might have shunned it, not understood it, run away from it, not bothered with it, not even realized it. It was really amazing. It was life-changing because I also came out of that with something I never did before and took time. And every once in a while, I still have to remind myself to do it. And that's creating boundaries.
Oh my God.
I never had any. I was yes and sure and don't worry about it and it's on
people
me.
Say they're like, I get it, but they don't actually apply it.
They don't. Right now, I've done it, and it's kind of interesting.
It feels good.
People that aren't used to it.
Oh, I know, but that's on them. It's not on you.
Right? Yeah, they're like, wait, what do you mean? What do you mean you can't? Like, no, I can't because I actually have to be somewhere else on Thursday at 4. Yeah, but
and I've also learned you don't even have to give a reason. Like, you don't even have to say I can't because of this. I just say, oh no, I'm good, thank you. Or be like, you know what? At this moment I can't do it. But thank you so much. And I can maybe, suggest so and so or maybe another time. But I've learned to not have to explain. But that's on me. Like I have to. That's not on the other person. That's on me.
It's on you to not to.
I have to get over that fear. Yeah, but just more of like, that reasoning. Well, I need to tell them this, and this. It's like, no, you don't. You don't have,
Right.
they also don't care about that part.
They
They
actually
just want to know
don't.
whether you in or you out.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What also happens too? Sometimes a few people disappear and maybe those people you were carrying them anyway. But what's kind of interesting is that energy that you have as a result of it and sticking with it. It's very attractive to other people. It's attractive to
Well,
others.
you're leading a path,
And you're leaning into
goal.
yourself, right?
Yeah.
You're leaning into yourself and you're
Yeah.
like, wow, look at all these other extra people that want you at their party and they want to work with you and collaborate with you and they want to know more about you and follow you, all these other things. And all you had to do was wake up that day. You didn't have to work it like maybe you did.
Totally. 100%.
Which is,
because you're being true to yourself. You're being authentic, and that's inspiring. And people are like, oh, I like how that person did that. They didn't have to do anything. They didn't have to justify anything. I like how they did it over here. Interesting. Huh. Okay. I want to follow how they do that. And then you start to hone in and like click. But it's true what you said. It's all about setting a boundary first.
When did you realize that? Is this something that, inspiration, empowerment?
Over time.
Yeah.
Working with people and just, I would say also hanging out with the right people, for sure. You want to be inspired by, yes, like-minded people, but also people that challenge you in a positive way. So if you're always hanging out with your same group and you're not being challenged and you're kind of getting bored, there's a reason for that. You're being pulled out for a reason to be questioned and challenging things. So when you start to branch off and explore other options, it's great. So I've had the pleasure of working with certain people and personally and career-wise that have inspired me. But it literally kind of what you said came down to setting boundaries. You got to set a boundary with yourself and with others. And that's like the number one thing for sure. For me, at least.
Yeah. No, it's important. Right. Like an example I use is I'll say like, somebody's, as a dramatic example, there's a fire across the street. Hey, come over. We have a fire. I will come over with my bucket of water to help with the fire. But first, if I have flames in front of me, I'm going to have to douse my flames first in order for me to run across the street with my bucket. I'll take some water from my bucket, put my flames out that are right in front of me first.
Yeah.
Then I'll be right there with my water, the remaining of my water, and I'll help you with yours. So I'm not shutting you off. I got things that I need to do, want to do, have to do, should do, that have to come first.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I agree. It's a good way of putting it, for sure.
Got to put out
yours.
Right.
Your flame first,
Yeah. Well, in these industries we're in too, they call you a lot and they want a lot and demand a lot and stretch a lot. And you have to sort of, you also get to a point where sometimes you love all the work, but you also want to pick and choose things that you believe in, things that 100%. Reflect you, things that, it's going to inspire people or whatever it may be, Yeah. And then you do the fun stuff too, like Deadly Midwife on Tubi. Not a great segue.
That's good. Deadly Midwife.
I'm the master of segues, Jim Masters. Tubi, great network. We watch Tubi all the time.
Alicia on the right, my right. She's a good friend of mine. We did a car hit actually. I was doubling her, and oh god, she's in, where is she? Palm Springs, and I think she took a photo of her thermometer once. I think it was like, oh god, Fahrenheit. I got to do the math real quick. I think it was like,
it's kind of like Death Valley,
136 or something. She's like, I just want to pool 136. I was like, Corey, how hot? That's hot.
How hot is it?
That's a Deadly Midwife. That was a fun one. That was a really fun shoot to do.
Yeah.
We're stunt driving and ramming people off the road on that one. That was a good one. Yeah.
Hey, even Sonic the Hedgehog, the film adaptation.
Fun one. Yeah. That was a fun one. We shot that actually. Well, we had the studio here in Vancouver. And then one of the parts that I shot was on the island. I wanted to meet Jim so bad.
Jim Carrey, Canadian, right? Yeah.
He wasn't there. Well, actually, no, it's not true. One of the days I had to go back and shoot some stuff. He was in the studio at the far end, and I could the doors were open. I could kind of see him, But I had friends that worked with him like closely on multiple scenes, and they just said he was the best, the most professional, kindest, funny. Camera wasn't rolling, still funny. Camera was rolling, funny.
Funny.
Yeah, just a funny guy. Like, good thing he got into showbiz. Imagine that guy at like doing like, hauling recycling bins and dump trucks. Like, oh my, you'd never, your garbage would pile high. He wouldn't get it done. Like, you'd just be laughing the whole time.
It's amazing, right? He's like a Robin Williams was, just boom, 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 boom.
Oh, energy.
Can take whatever's going on around them and turn it into magic.
Totally.
Which is incredible. Wayne Brady's kind of like that too. Wayne Brady, who now he's he can just.
He was on that show. What was it? Whose Line Is It?
Whose Line Is It Anyway? Right.
Brilliant.
Now he's doing Let's Make a Deal.
He just like came up with all the improv lines like it was just like a cue card behind camera, like so quick.
Yeah. You know who has the ultimate gig? Drew Carey hosting The Price Is Right. Wow, what a gig he's got. The legendary show, and is he still doing it? Price is Right? Oh, Price is Right, yeah. Bob Barker did it 35 years.
3 o'clock was it on? Bob Barker back in the day?
Yeah, Bob Barker, right? CBS.
I would bolt home, watch that. It was 3 or 3:30, and then there was like a whole series of shows right after, Saved by the Bell and all that. But the first one was Bob Barker. Yeah.
Bob Barker, exactly.
Please spay or neuter your pet and animal.
Yes, that's right. You have your pets spayed or neutered.
Yep. Yeah, he was a big supporter of that. Yeah,
absolutely. Altered Carbon, another one.
Oh yeah, that was a fun one. That was a fun.
You know what's great? You like them all, which is terrific because they're all fun.
I'm not gonna lie, they're all pretty fun. That was that. Oh, so here's a crazy story with that. So that they had to. That show, we did a full body cast of moi or having me be in the water, actual water. We shot it in the Fraser River. But when we were shooting it, I think it was March or April. And it was black water. So it's like half fresh water, half salt. Where the area that we were shooting was mostly fresh. But the water was so cold, my body, even though I'm trying to pretend I was dead, it was like I would shiver, so you would see it. So before we shot that, they're like, okay, well, let's just do a full body cast. And I've never done a full body. I've done like hands, feet. I did hands, feet and stuff, but we did a full body of this. And then we did 2 heads and then 2 sets of hands. So I'm laying there and they're doing a full body. And the weight of this was insane. So they basically, you lay kind of topless and then just wearing like a thong, and they layer, it's like an algae mix that they pour right over top of you, and then they take burlap sack and they kind of like, it's not burlap, but they kind of take a material like this and they chop it up and then they soak it and then they lay it all over your body, and it gets heavy, and they tell you, okay, take a deep breath, and then they layer another, it looks like concrete over your ribs. They take a breath and then they layer it and it's heavy, and then they take wood boards and they put it over top of your body because they need to lift the whole thing off of you. So I had felt like 50 pounds on my chest. And so they take it off, and then they have a whole poured like indentation of my body, and then they flip it and then they fill that, and then that's what the mold is made out of. So they took the mold and they basically dressed it, did an amazing job doing each hair on my head. So if you go back to that picture, my natural hair is this. What I was wearing was an actual wig, but on this body mold, right there, they put individual blonde hairs into this body mold. And I swear it does. I don't have to swear. It looks exactly like me. It's insane. Wow. It's crazy. And I own that body now.
Do you really?
I do. Yeah. It's crazy. My dog saw it in the living room and he wouldn't go near it. He was traumatized.
He was kind of like,
he thought I was dead. I drove home with it. I had my seats down, and I had in the back seat, and I had the front seat shoved all the way up, and I was driving. I got to a light and I quickly filmed. I was like, well, there she is. And then I scan over, and it's like me, just long dead. And I'm laying there. I look, and I get to a light. I remember someone was looking over, and I just remember covering my face, and I was just like, oh God, they're gonna think I murdered somebody. But it's heavy. It was
but
like a
it's got to
it was
be.
like a $120 the weight of this thing. I
Wow.
couldn't get over how heavy it was because there's
Yeah.
like steel rods, the steel rod across the chest. It's heavy. So I own it now. I own her. I have her. She's propped up in my living. No, I'm kidding. She's at a studio. I was thinking of having her in the living room. I was like, I could make a coffee table out of her.
Could you imagine? Somebody stops by who hasn't been to the
I'm
house
being
yet.
100% serious. I was contemplating making a coffee table. And my husband was like, what are you doing? No, you can't do that. No, this is weird. And I'm like, well, I gotta use her somehow.
You got to use her somehow.
She's at a studio. I don't know. I'm probably gonna write a short.
Maybe because she could double you.
Well, she did. She took 2 days away of work from me.
That's what happens. See?
They're like, well, we can't have Lisa in the wild. Let's just throw the dummy in. I'm like, rats.
It's a different kind of AI.
It's a different. I know. I go my body on that one.
That's it. Lucifer.
Lucifer. That was a fun show. They're all fun.
Tonight's word, kids, is fun.
Fun. Yeah, that was a good one.
How'd this come about for you?
I put this one on tape. It was a stunt actor role. And I remember, actually, no, I didn't I put this, when I say I put on tape, I mean, I put it on tape at home, looked at it, and then I went in the room and I auditioned for this one live. This was prior to COVID and everything was online, but this was many years before COVID. So this was in the room. And I remember with this one, in the casting office, it was carpet and it was like a round rug. And I kept moving and the rug kept moving with me. I was so into it because I had to like pretend I was getting attacked. And I was like being physical and the whole rug was like moving. And the rug at one point slipped and I just like full on like Home Alone, like boop.
Boom.
I want to say that's what helped me book it, but I don't know. It was a fun one. It was a fun one to do. But I remember the person who was chasing me in that scene for that was a friend of mine and he just threw me against the fence and he threw me down on the ground and I roll and he's on top of me and he's just like and he calls right before cut he's like he doesn't want to move his mouth so he looks like a ventriloquist and he's like, you okay, are you good, are you good? I'm good everything's good. Yeah, it was funny. You're just like you're trying to make sure your partner's good but you're like, are you good, can you do me, you good?
Yeah, the teeth, nothing moves. The lips don't move. Nothing.
Yeah, you just try to like smile through it and keep talking. Yeah, you're good. Okay, cool.
Well, I know that's really a cool thing to be able to do that, right?
Oh yeah,
I had a ventriloquist doll when I was a kid.
Oh yeah,
I still
you did
love
that?
those things. We had one. We had the Charlie McCarthy doll, and of course Edgar Bergen, who was the famous ventriloquist, father of the actress Candice Bergen, Murphy Brown.
Okay. Yeah, Murphy Brown. Oh yeah, loved her.
He created that whole Charlie McCarthy character. Yep. We were visiting relatives during the holidays, and we were kids, and we were in the back seat. I just gotten them for Christmas, and we were coming from our aunt and uncles, going back to New York, and we're having fun with our toys, in the back seat. Our parents said, "Okay, everything's in the trunk, but if there's a couple of things you want to play with for the 3-hour ride back." Pick what you want to play with and you can have it in the back seat with you guys. And I wanted the ventriloquist doll that I just got for Christmas, the Charlie McCarthy. You put your hand in the back of the jacket, you pull a string and the mouth moves a little bit.
Oh, it was a string. It wasn't like a clamp. It was a string. It
was an actual, you pulled it. And that's what happened. My sister, who I love dearly.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Can I play with that? Pulled on it a little too hard, and the string broke, and the mouth stuck open.
Yeah.
So what do you do with a ventriloquist doll when the mouth breaks? I mean, it's kind of done.
Yeah. Oh, and you couldn't fix it. Oh, I remember doing that. It was a clothing hanger. Do you remember those?
Oh, yes.
You have the shirt on the hanger, and then I used to have a ball cap, and then you put your hand up and through.
Yeah, there are people who make careers out of socks. Just to take a sock and they make a career.
What's his name? What's his name? Jim. Is it or something Dunn? Is it Jimmy Dunn?
Oh, I know who you're talking about. Yes. What?
Something Dunn. He's amazing.
I was at an event, and I thought the thing was a sock. I'm not sure. There's the dog with the cigar that's like the sarcastic dog.
Well, I think that's a Canadian. That's from Much Music. That's from
I met
like
that guy like
from
a week
Too Much
ago. He was
Music.
going around, and we were in a big event, and he had that. I'm like, is that really
That's Too
him?
Much Music, dog. Yeah,
And
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
my God, he made a career out of
Oh yeah, yeah,
that.
yeah,
It's,
yeah.
if you're
Crazy.
creative, right? If you are creative, it's
Yeah.
never a mystery. And if it is a mystery, then you could always call Nancy Drew to solve it.
Well done.
Thank
That
you,
was
thank you, thank
smooth.
you. That
That
was
was pretty
smooth.
smooth. I'm not gonna lie.
How about Nancy Drew being involved in that too?
That's not me, but I
I
like
know,
where your
yeah.
head's at. But
Yeah,
that was a fun show too. Oh
yeah.
God, I love working on that one.
That's such
Kennedy
a
McMahon
legendary
was.
franchise too.
Oh yeah, Kennedy McMahon was Nancy, and I had the pleasure of doubling her for I don't know, over like maybe 10 episodes. She was a dream to work with. She was so sweet. She was really really kind. And then I think I had like 3 stunt actor. Oh, I had one where I was playing a dead bride. She came back from the dead to like haunt somebody, and the gag was there was a glass window, and I had the veil. It was black, and it looked like my face was rotting, and I had to smash my head against this window. I believe was inside some flower. It was a flower shop or something, and I had to grab flower. Oh yeah, I had to grab the flowers, and then I had to continue going, and I was supposed to go and like see somebody who left me at the altar, or I was supposed to marry him or something. Anyways, the glass, it was like kind of like hopefully a one take wonder. Smash it. And I had before we went, I taped it's like a gel. They come from figure skating background. You can use them for your knees, your ankles, but it's like a thin gel pad. And I taped it to my forehead so I wouldn't get any of the glass in the forehead. And I remember just giving it a hard whack. And good thing I put it there because a piece stuck into the gel. I think I just like went a little too hard, but I was like, beaver. And I just remember smashing it. And the camera just saw like the whole pane went. It was a beautiful shot. It was great.
Yeah.
It was awesome. Yeah. And then I just put my creepy hand and pulled it out. Yeah, it was awesome. That was a fun shoot. But Kennedy, she was lovely to work with. I really loved her. And she worked hard on that show. She showed up and she gave it her all. Man, that was a great cast, actually. Really good cast.
Maureen's watching in Arizona, USA. What we talking about? Jeff Dunham? Maybe it was Jeff
Dunham.
Dunham.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maureen.
I said done, but yeah, Jeff Dunham. That's
Jeff
right.
Dunham.
Thank you.
Lovely, Maureen. You score points on that one. And then, of course, and this, we're just sort of meandering through like I see, these are conversations, like old school good conversations with a modern vibe, more than just a typical interview.
Yeah. Love it.
And yeah, it's just, it's free flowing, it's freestyle, and I think people get more out of it. I love conversations versus just strict interview.
Yeah. Tell me what you've done.
What have you done? When is the CD out? We'll see you next week.
Exactly.
There's plenty of that. This is
Billy,
very important. You tell us about this.
This is a fun
and
one.
Congratulations being involved in it.
Thank you. Yeah, this is a real fun. I know.
Hot off the presses, exciting news. Yeah. Right.
So I booked this right after COVID. All the shows were starting to kind of gear back. And then I threw that on tape, 1800s look. So I found whatever I had in my wardrobe, classic Aritzia summer skirt, threw that on, taped it, forgot about it completely. About a month and a half, maybe 2 months later, found out that I booked it. And then I started to do my research on it. And I was like, oh, damn, Susan McSween. She's a tough chick. She's a real tough, badass woman. I did my whole research on her, but I later found out that after the whole Lincoln County War and Billy the Kid and all that little side part, she was known as the cattle queen of New Mexico. She owned the most head of cattle in the whole state. And she was just a real strong businesswoman, and she took no shit basically. And she was a powerhouse. But the show, Billy, is an amazing show. So we shot season 1. I was kind of featured in the tail end of season 1. We shot all of it in Alberta. So the scenery is strictly Alberta. We are mimicking it to look like New Mexico. I've been to New Mexico. I love New Mexico. It's gorgeous. The terrain there is very similar. There's a wide range of different terrain in New Mexico, so this is a great place to mimic it. It's a Paramount Plus show, MGM Studio. We shot the first little bit a couple of years ago for season 1, and then we came back for season 2. And because of the strike, we were able to shoot 4 episodes out of the 8. We're now going back to shoot the remaining 4. So the 4 have already been shot and aired. So that's on Paramount Plus. So we go back pretty quick here and remain filming of the last 4 episodes of the remaining 8 for season 2.
Wow. How cool is that, huh?
Yeah, it's been a great show to work on. I've learned a lot. Great cast, Tom Blythe right there that you're seeing. He's our lead guy. He just crushes it as Billy. Such a talented kid. My God. He's like I say kid because he's the kid we call him. But yeah.
Look at those sets and everything, right?
It's amazing. We're shooting all on location, no studio. All the houses and all the sets that you see are all built to be on location. Some of them have running water. Some they're all electricity is all prepared there. We all get there and we're all just like, can we just pinch ourselves? Is this really where we're filming? Like my phone, all my photos is just like scenery shots. Yeah, it's so breathtaking. It's amazing. Like we're just, wow. It's just when you put it out there in the universe, like I said, and then you get it, you're just like, okay, really watch where you point that thing because things can happen, you know? And I'm just like, oh, and they're shooting. I'm in a horse and buggy. I'm in I love period pieces personally. I love it. I love wearing the gowns, the shoes, having the clutches, the bags, even the way the women carried themselves then. I love it. So the fact that I got to experience and still am experiencing it, the corsets, the materials that they're using, they're very authentic. We have no, I want to say current times material that we use. We have full wool pantyhose. We don't use any polyester or anything like that. All the shirts are linen or true cotton or wool. So some of them are itchy and you just kind of grin and bear it, but everyone and everything is being truly authentic to the show and the time. Very minimal makeup, which is, my God, it's hard at first, but you get used to it. But the makeup and hair team make it look amazing. And you're just, you're kind of petrified. You're like, but you get used to it. But it's an amazing show to be on. I'm super grateful for this opportunity and people that I'm just around. I'm like looking at all the cast. I'm like, damn, you guys have quite the resumes. And everyone's just putting, the best foot forward and doing their work. And it shows. Like the scenery alone is breathtaking. It's great. Michael Hershey, he also wrote Vikings. You can really see his passion for Billy the Kid really come out in the writing. I bought an online book, but the book is written by Kathleen Chamberlain. It's called In the Shadows of Billy the Kid. And quotes that are in there, I've read in the script. So I know he's really a true fan of Billy the Kid. So it was kind of cool to see quotes that were like listed by certain people and then have it be in the script. I was like, I like that a lot. So he's a massive fan, and his story of Billy the Kid and how his fascination of it when he was younger kind of, faded, kind of came back. And then he wrote this, and yeah, it's been an amazing opportunity. Yeah.
How is it different than other things you've worked on too? Because you've worked on such a breadth and scope and variety of projects of all different kinds.
I didn't have to bring my stunt bag out. This is just acting. So this was a little bit different than me preparing for a stunt gig and acting at the same. This is just acting. So it's kind of nice to just put that aside and just focus on the dialogue, focus on the scene, the story, who I am, what I'm doing, and the writing and the right. Oh my God, I love it. I love it. So the preparation is a little bit different for me. I don't have to worry about showing up for a stunt rehearsal or anything like that. Yes, there's physicality. Like a lot of the people on the show, some of the cowboys, they have to go for horseback riding lessons and stuff like that. But for my character, I got nothing. I'm just there as an actor, which feels really nice. It's
Really
kind of nice to
huh?
put a pin in that part of my life right now. And
What about behind the scenes too? You like to produce?
I've done a couple little projects. Yeah, some little things here and there, and
Is that something you like to
small
do more
deals.
of?
Yeah,
Producing? Yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
writing too? Writing
And
scripts
directing.
and
Yep.
yeah.
Oh, listen. We've all written things, but does anything turn out of them? That's the real thing. Everyone be like, "Oh, I've written this." It's like, listen, when you complete something, come back and talk to me.
I'm working on my novel.
I gotta finish it. I gotta finish the
Gotta
project.
finish it. That's the thing. You have the idea, but then you got to get past page 2.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. But my husband's a director. He does a lot of comedy commercial directing.
Oh,
And
that's
so
great.
I'm always bouncing ideas off him. And he makes his own projects all the time. And it's really inspiring to watch. Like he gets the idea. He'll get it on a Sunday. He'll write it, have it done by Tuesday. And then by like Friday, he'll set a date and he'll actually shoot it. And I'm like,
Is he from New York?
well done. Yeah. And then I'm doing crafting back, just being like, okay, how do I learn? How do I do this?
Right. How'd you guys meet? On set or how'd that happen?
No, I love this. We met at a Tex-Mex restaurant in Toronto. He was actually in Humber College for acting, and I was playing hockey. But we worked at a Tex-Mex restaurant, serving sizzling fajitas. So that was a while ago. But yeah, it was a hilarious time in our lives. Just trying to, you're in your 20s, you're just trying to figure out life, what you want to do, but yeah, he's doing comedy directing, and it's just really inspiring to see, because then I can take that with how I am with my career with stunts and acting, and do my own projects and direct and chip away slowly, and
right, exactly.
one project after another kind of thing.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And I would imagine there's probably things on the bucket list too that you would like to do, might not even be exactly in this line of work, but what are some other things that interest you that you'd like to also do, Lisa?
Yeah, directing. I do want to. I have a couple ideas for sure that I want to shoot this year. Directing's for sure on that list. That's the main one right now, I would say, for sure. I've done some producing of some things on the side as well. I have the pull, as I was saying earlier, about pulling you, and that's the directing.
Yeah.
Definitely right now. I feel when I'm on set, sometimes I'm like, how would I do this? Okay, I'm very similar to how they would do it. Okay, yeah. So I'm like already kind of doing it in my head. I just gotta do it on my own projects now. So I'm just like, okay, I gotta do it at some point. And I was pushing it away for so long. I was like, no, you're just kind of doing it because everybody else does it. And then I was like, no, I think I really want to do this. So yeah, I really want to hone in on it at the end of the year. And I have like a bit of a timeline of what I want to do, and hopefully I can execute that this year. Fingers crossed.
When the holidays come, do you have some downtime, or you're just as busy?
Sorry, so it cut out a little bit there. Sorry.
When the holiday season comes, which is now, do you get to have some downtime, or are you just as busy?
A little bit of both. I'm prepping to go out to finish shooting here quite soon. So I'm prepping for that. But for the holidays, I think I'm just going to stay home and just kind of chill and
nice.
Soak it up and just kind of,
We're going to Florida. You want to go?
Pack
everybody up and
oh my God, sign me up. I would love just some warm weather. Anything over 15. What is that? 15, 30, 40,
anything over 15.
Anything over 65, I'll take it.
Celsius or Fahrenheit, right? Our 65, right?
You're 65 Fahrenheit.
You're minus 100.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, but I would love to go to Florida. But no, I just want to finish up some projects here around the house, like personal things, and then settle into the holidays.
We're doing that print that's behind you. Isn't that looking through a window and it's an ocean?
Yeah. That's by an artist. Her last name is Brown, I believe. I saw that in a store. It was framed with glass, and I didn't like the glass on it, but I was drawn to it. Like you were drawn to Death Valley. And I just really liked it, and I bought it.
It was in the window, and I had to have it.
Yeah. There's something with the ocean that I'm
Yeah.
pulled towards for
Mhm.
sure. I don't know if it's a negative ion. I don't know what it is, but I have to be near a body
Now,
of
how
water.
far are you from it where you are in Vancouver? You're not far, right?
About 10 streets away. I'm pretty close.
Yeah, we're just a couple of blocks ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have to be near water. I don't know what it is.
No,
I went
there's some.
down to Atlanta, and I really liked Atlanta. And I went down to Peachtree City.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
liked it. It was really, really cute. All the studios are down there, and
Yeah,
really
right.
cute community. I have friends that reside in and around Peachtree.
Right. It's a great
And
spot.
yeah, it's a really good spot. And they have everybody drives a golf cart.
Yep.
I don't know if you've been there, but everybody drives, and
Yeah.
priority parking is for golf carts at the grocery
For the
stores,
golf carts.
restaurants, dog store, everywhere.
Yeah,
Priority
cool.
parking is golf cart. I was
Golf
like, this is
carts.
amazing. And I think they have over like 300 miles of golf cart paths throughout Peachtree. But what I found when I got there, which I loved the heat, I loved everything. I'm like, there's something I felt missing, and it was being near a body of water.
The
like I just
water.
had to be near water. I don't know what it like. Well, I know what it
Yeah.
is. I need to be near water, but it was just like a pull. I'm like, okay, it's not here, it's not here. But I was contemplating moving there for a little bit, but I did really like it though. I really liked Atlanta. There's amazing architecture there. Have you been?
Yes. Yeah, it really is a cool city. And Peachtree City, one of my friends, she and her husband, he's originally from Australia. She's originally from Ireland. And they moved. She opened up a voice studio, and
Okay.
I think dance studio too. And they love it there. You know, even though Australia, Ireland, they love that location.
Yeah.
And she's made her life there, raised the kids, all of it. And her name is Lisa Kelly, and she's one of the originals from Celtic Woman.
Okay.
Yeah. And she
Gotcha.
makes that her home.
Nice.
They absolutely love it there.
Yeah. Especially if you have kids. Somebody told me, I think it's Georgia State Lottery funds the school board, so that all the schools there have access to amazing activities, sports, arts. They've just got funding that's not the norm, let's just say. Yeah. And I drove by to the schools with my friend to pick up their kids, and I was like, wow, I was super impressed. But it was just a great community. Everybody, it just felt like a small town feel, but kind of like spread out in a really cool way. Yeah, I really liked it.
Did anybody stop over with an apple pie for you or anything? Or
no, but there was peach cobbler everywhere.
What am I talking about? Apple.
Peach state.
Peach cobbler.
Yeah.
Apples up here.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That
you guys have really good apples up there.
In this area, New England, the tri-state area, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts. Yeah, we really, really do. Yeah, and we just went through it's pretty much done now, but it was an epic fall foliage season.
Yeah.
You know, that Northeast New York, New England fall foliage. It was really something this year. Yeah, really something. We haven't been getting a lot of snow here either. We the last couple of years,
okay.
We only had one storm of any consequence. That was about it. I mean, you do need it so you don't have a drought, but we haven't been getting anything.
Oh, interesting.
And then every once in a while, you guys send us polar vortexes.
Sorry about that.
See, we don't get them that much sometimes, but Chicago and the Midwest, they get Minnesota, they get nailed with these polar vortex. From polar vortex in the winter, smoke from the fires in the summer.
Blame Canada. Just blame Canada. It's okay. We'll take it.
We love our neighbors to the north.
Yeah, it's funny you're mentioning apples. There's a movie. I think it's called Prancer. It's like an old kids movie. It was done in the, I want to say like 90s of some sort. If someone's watching and they can type it, I think it's Prancer, but it's basically about a family that lives on an apple orchard and they're not financially cutting it. And a reindeer somehow gets lost and lives on the property. And the little girl, does this ring a bell? No? Anyway, I can't remember who's in it.
No, it does.
There's a larger actor in it.
Yeah.
It was an amazing show. Or a movie, I mean, but they always talked about the apples and they were living on the East Coast. And how crisp they were. I remember going to New York. I remember I don't know. I have family in Connecticut as well, and they were saying like, "Oh yeah, the apples are the Honey Crisp thing was a Honey Crisp. How good it is,
Crisp
how
and the
long they can last over there."
Macintosh and
Yeah, yeah,
good stuff, right? You
yeah,
know.
yeah. Good
So
apple pies. Actually, is the Honey Crisp. I think it is over there.
what do you want for Christmas?
Oh my god, I'm gonna ask that. What do I want
Or are
for
you
Christmas?
blessed with a lot now?
Hashtag blessed. I am. I'm pretty happy. Like with
Yeah,
what's
which is
going
a
on
good
in the
thing.
world,
Yeah,
strikes, this, all that stuff.
war
I'm
and just
very,
all this stuff
yeah,
happening.
I'm very content. Let's just say that. I've manifested a lot, which I'm very grateful for. And it's very powerful when you can see something come in 3D that you've been like working hard, writing about it, journaling about it, and then you see it happen. You're like, oh, damn, okay, this is great. I'm on the right track. I'm doing something right. As for a Christmas gift or something, I'm good. I'm really good. Classic saying, you just want everybody to be healthy at the end of the day, you know? But yeah, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty good. I got work
You
coming
sure you don't want to
in the new
rethink
year.
that? You sure you don't want to
So
rethink that? I have your husband's cell phone number, so I was going to text him whatever you said you wanted. Do you want to
listen,
rethink it, or
it was a Tiffany's necklace. Okay. It's a nice pen. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm not really a jewelry person.
area code? Blah, 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 oh, international 1+.
Yeah, it's called Amazon. I'll send you the link. No, I'm good. What about you? What do you want for Christmas? What's on your wish list? What's on your
Boy,
bucket list?
just it's really interesting because ever since I'm just like a big kid. I say we're all big kids in adult clothing. Um, I just love the whole thing of it. My family still makes a big deal out of it.
Yeah.
My mom cooks the whole entire meal for everybody.
Yeah.
The house was in New York, but now is in beautiful Florida.
How many
And
people roughly?
uh,
Ish?
my
How many
mother's,
people?
well, my mother is, there. We have a lot of relatives on both sides of the family,
Okay.
but my mother's side, she's the youngest of 16, my mother.
Whoa, I thought you were going to stop at 6. 16. Jeez
She's the
Louise.
youngest of 16. So there's all cousins and aunts and uncles and just a lot of family. But just the getting together,
Yeah.
it's, believe it or not, most people, I would say a lot of people, their birthday is like their favorite day of the year. Mine is Christmas Day. Ever since I was a
Oh,
kid, I
nice.
just like Christmas Day because, all the senses are touched upon, if you figure,
Right.
Food, love, music, lights, singing, Christmas movies, Christmas TV shows, the tree, the gifts, the cookies, the dinner, if you believe in God, the religious part, if you put all this together, it's like every single sense that we possibly have is all turned up. My least favorite day of the year is the day after because
I
everything
was just going to say
stops. It
Boxing
all
Day.
stops. People,
Yeah.
road rage on the highways again and all this. Like, can't we at least,
Yeah. 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 Carry this on
carry
all the
this
way
on,
through.
the
Yeah.
spirit, and fa la
Yeah.
la la and all that.
That's
But
nice. I like
yeah,
that.
I've
That's
always,
sweet.
I would say it's really the health of everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody's been through. We've all been through things that I don't think we could have scripted the last few years,
Oh, you're telling
and
me. Oh,
I don't
honest.
think And there's some beautiful things that have come out of it. I
Yeah.
think there's an awakening. I think
Yeah.
people are reassessing their lives. They're reassessing what they want to do going forward. There's also been the flip where people have been flipping out, and there has been road rage and yelling and political divide and nobody listening, and all that has been ramped up as well. But
Yeah.
there is this undercurrent of people, and I see them. I've interviewed them professionally. I've done conversations with them who are not going in that direction. They're going in the direction of, we need each other. This is a good
Positive.
time to harness. This is a good time to sort of bring it all back home. Because again, too, all the craziness that's going on in the world, the kids are watching. The little
Mm-hmm.
kids that are there, they're watching all this madness.
Yeah.
Now, when I was a kid, I don't remember things like this. We had a fabulous childhood, and when you were a kid, we were playing outside, we were playing baseball and hockey, and we were climbing trees, and in our backyard swimming pool, we were doing all these things. So whatever the adults had to deal with, whatever, we weren't involved in it. We didn't know, and we were allowed to be kids, and then life moves on. But today, kids are like adults almost, and you see them nervous and worried and all these things. So all this stuff they see the adults doing, attacking each other and all the vitriol out there and everything, the kids are watching and they're absorbing that, and they could easily say, gee, that's how you stampede over somebody. That's how you get ahead in life. Not really. That's not how you should get ahead in life. But they're watching that stuff, and I think it's awful to see it. And there's a lot of people out there who they've quit corporate jobs, 6-figure corporate jobs, and now they're life coaches or massage therapists, or they own a bed and breakfast in Vermont or something. They just need to realign themselves with who they are and be in touch with people, humanity. I think that's a cool thing that happened.
Yeah, it's interesting. I would say that because I don't know if you've on Instagram, but I've been seeing more and more people doing the like homesteading, the buying a house, having chickens, having bees, and growing their own food. And people are kind of waking up and being like, I think I kind of want to leave this other lifestyle that I was doing before and kind of focus on me, my family, and realizing that I don't need to sign up for what society thinks I need to sign up for. If that makes any sense. And it's interesting. I don't want to say it's a trend, but just people realizing it more and more and finding the joy in it, and that you don't need your device 365. You know what I mean? And you can just be you and be out in nature, and kind of like we were saying with the children, and just like, they're watching, they're literally going to grow up, try and hold on to that childhood joy that they have. And I don't want to say innocence, but at the same time, give them that as
wide-eyed, curious.
Yeah, you know yeah. I'm actually opposite. I was not a fan of Christmas at all. Yeah. No, I feel like it was shoved down my throat kind of thing. You have to like, we're all gonna get together. All gonna be like, you know what I mean? So I kind of like over years like despised
if you don't, the ceiling will split open and you will be plucked out and sent to hell.
Like I want to, and I know people talk about like, the Hallmark movies, like how sweet, and it's a guy in a waffle plaid shirt goes back to his hometown. But I'm like, I want to see one where like the girl genuinely is authentic and doesn't really care for Christmas because of A, B, C, and D, divorce, this, that, like they're authentic. And anyways, I just
producers, in case you're listening, I think we have a script here, and we have the actress. And if there's a stunt where there's a fight scene at the department store over toys, we'll do that. Right. I think you just created. Bad Santa.
Yeah. But I just wasn't a huge like fan, like real talk. Like I just wasn't a massive fan of Christmas. Like I just felt like it was like society telling me I had to enjoy this one day, all the pressure. Yeah. You know what I mean?
So actually there is a lot of, right. It's all built up to the one day.
Oh, God.
It's
you know what I mean?
It's a lot of. Yeah.
And then,
and if there's passings, and if you've lost people in your life, and
100%, and it's sometimes there's a little bit of trauma layered on top of it. And then I just realized, okay, put that all aside. My husband loves Christmas. I do love the essence of it. I'm just layering it with more crap that I don't need to. So I just need to put it all aside and just take it for what it is. It's a day and a week, a month, whatever I want to look at it, whatever my view of it is, but I'm still going to enjoy it. But for a long time, I just was like, I kept hating it because of all the exterior pressure. And then slowly I kind of got rid of that stress of it. And I just,
the beauty of it, the joy of it.
Yeah. I just like opened up. You're like, okay, I'm putting this on myself, that I have to like this. I don't have to like anything. If I don't want to like it, that's fine, but don't add to it. Do you know what I mean? Like I kept making it not more fun. So I just kind of was like, okay, boundaries, full circle.
Yes. Right.
Kind of like set like a boundary with this and just be like, okay, I can only handle this much. There's certain people in my family that don't get along, certain people that do, and it's okay to say no, just because everybody just like wants to like get together at like this like one time of the year, and it has to be perfect. It has to be like a movie. It has to be like we're having dinner together. It's like, no, it's okay if we all don't have it work on one day. I'd rather go see my family 5 times more spread throughout the year. That's okay. So I'm just trying to like break it down and kind of be the adult of it, but in my own head, and
Well,
set the
we're
boundary.
well,
Put it out
because, right. It's that day has to be perfect.
Totally.
Everything has to be ideal. It has to be
Oh my gosh.
perfect. And that, and that makes it crazy, and that makes it sort of odd,
Yeah.
with all that beautifulness that you said, and there's truth to that. Merlin, who was in Ontario, Canada, one of our lovelies, the bottom line, adding on to what you said, she wants to know, is all your decorating done?
Merlin. I love that name, Merlin. That's a
She's
really
in
good
Ontario,
name.
Canada. She's one of our lovelies.
Ontario.
Yeah.
Is my decorating done? You know what? I threw up the tree. It's in.
You literally just threw it up?
I threw it up. It's a 3-piece tree. It's like box, open the box.
Could you imagine what it was like? She's like, all right, honey, you want to put this damn thing up?
Well,
Let's
I'm
go.
in a condo, so I can't have a real tree. They ban real trees in condos.
I just wanted to see how a stunt person takes a tree and just throws it up.
I literally just throw it. Like, here, good luck.
You
but
decorated.
I have some decorations that I gotta put up. This is interesting. Every time I travel somewhere around the world, even if it's like, I don't know, 5 towns over, I have to get a Christmas decoration. So I think there's something underneath that where I'm like, I want to like Christmas, but I was like, not. So I think like over the years, I've been like opening up to it, but I have now 20 different Christmas decorations that say the location. I went to Scotland actually not this past fall, the fall before, with my father, and I got a bunch of Highland cow little wool Christmas decorations, and I got something else in Glasgow and Edinburgh, and so I have all the names on it. And then anytime I go somewhere, so I've got a whole tree of around the globe kind of little decorations everywhere. That's the part that I really love. I'm just like,
you know what's happening? I think it's because it's you doing Christmas versus it being told to you how it's supposed to be.
True. This is a good therapy.
You're creating your right. I tell you.
Yeah.
I don't even have a copay. Maybe I should start copays. Patreon copay.
There we go. Yeah. Get that Patreon going.
Pay for these streaming costs and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
This graphic
Take Apple Pay.
Hey, Apple Pay, please. It's
true though. That's a really good point.
Yeah, it's very, very true that I think you are enjoying it the way that you're doing it. Actually, speaking of that, somebody just did a super chat during our live show. Maureen, she guessed Jeff Dunham earlier from Arizona. She says, Lisa, nice. You are such a wonderful human. May all of your future endeavors be successful beyond your wildest dreams. Please come back to Lovety Hall.
Maureen, that's so sweet of you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much for the super chat too, and that nice Irish green that you know I love, Maureen. That's cool stuff. Nice. This was fantastic. Kathleen is in New York City. Some of our lovelies sort of conversing during the course of the show in our chat room. Such a great conversation. Thanks for being here, Lisa. Best of luck with all you do. Yeah, they're all commenting.
I love it. I love it.
And if anybody missed this live, it shall be archived with another 1,032. Gang, I just got word from them that we have done 1,000. This is 1,034 episodes of the Jim Master Show live in 3.5 years.
That's a lot.
Isn't that something?
A lot. Yeah, good for you.
It's a lot.
How many do you think you got in you before you're going to be like, okay, enough's enough. Enough's enough. Do you think you can hit 10,000?
You know, after driving alone through Death Valley and swimming in that frigid cove in Greece, I think so. I think yeah. This is one of those things. I could be 200 years old in a rocking chair with a lemonade, fire it up.
Yeah.
All right.
Do it. Yeah. Because it's conversation. Lisa. It's not work.
Yeah. Right. It's conversation. Right. It's it's interesting, you know.
It's good. Thank you. It's been an easy slide into a
But
conversation.
just to
I will
slide
say
right
that.
in. Yeah, the
Yeah.
start of the season and everything. I also produce it too, so that
Yeah.
surprises
Good for
people. So
you.
I'm producing it as I'm actually doing it, which
As you're
is
doing it,
as I'm doing it.
good
Yes,
for you.
kind of interesting.
Wow.
Well, I'm using some of my television background and the look and the feel of the show. We want it to be
Yep.
fun and professional, sort of slick,
Yep.
but warm and approachable,
Yep.
not off-putting in any way. Jane watches in Sweden. Says, thank you, Lisa, for being here tonight. Thanks, Jim, and good night. She's always here in Sweden.
Thanks, Jane.
Merlin is back there in Ontario. Lisa, this has been a blast. Thanks for
Hey.
being here. Canada in the house on the other side in Ontario. Merry Christmas. She says, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
She's got to have a Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
You are so welcome, Lisa.
Oh, so sweet.
Yeah,
I
this is
love
great.
when
Yeah,
it's inspiring. That's awesome.
yeah, it's really nice when you have an opportunity to have all these folks that are adding all this flavor with all these comments and everything. We appreciate everybody typing and sharing all this. This is really, really cool stuff. And Jen Barry's in Pennsylvania, USA. A fun show tonight. Merlin says, my kids worked with Adam Sandler in Pixels, filmed in Toronto.
Yes, they did film that in Toronto. I wasn't there, but I know a couple friends that worked on Pixels. But yeah, he's a blast to work with.
She also wants to know if you scuba dive. See,
I
she
do
wants to know
scuba
if the decorations are up and if you scuba dive. And have you been to Tobermory?
I haven't been to Tobermory. Where is Tobermory? I'm not sure where that is, but I do scuba dive. That was actually one of my first credits was season 1, episode 3 on Once Upon a Time. I had to double a siren, which is like a underwater mermaid, and I had to have a diving ticket. And I had like 5 under my belt then. And it was like a platform and I had to rise up underneath it. And that's when I met our dive community and got into free diving and kind of changed my world of scuba. But that was a fun show. I know the word's fun tonight, but that was a really cool show. Once Upon a Time. That was fun. That was a blast, actually.
Jen says you're Lisa, you're now a Lovety.
A Lovety, yes.
I tell everybody Oscars, Emmys, Peabodys, Tellys, Tonys, Cleos, the Oscar Academy Award, Tonys, Grammys, all of it. You are told you're a Lovety on the Jim Masters show.
I gotta say, Jim, my mom's maiden name is Masters too. So when I saw your
mother's maiden name is Masters?
Masters, yeah.
Wow. Hey, cool. We're cousins.
Hey.
I wonder why this is just so flowing. It's really cool. It's a great last name. We've traced it. Our derivation is in the New York area, my father's side, but it goes back to Yorkshire, England.
I know.
So Masters is English, or as they would say, Masters. And I'm the 5th James. And so I say you can call me Jim, James, or Jimmy. Just don't call me late for supper. And
well played.
And so, my father's side of the family is English, Irish, and I believe there's some Scottish in there. And so all Northern European. And then my mother's side is English, Swedish, and French.
Nice. Good mix.
Good mix. Our mutual fabulous friend, Leslie Diana. Lisa, so talented. Thanks for sharing all her credits. Absolutely,
Thanks,
Leslie. That was just a short list of what you do. Got some claps coming in from Screen Queen Army. That's Chris in Comber, Ireland, in the Belfast area.
I love Ireland.
He watches. Yeah. Have you been?
I have. I had a quick time in Dublin. I spent a little bit more time in Scotland, but I would love to go back to Ireland. I went to the Guinness Toury, whatever, the self-touring at the top, and I looked over and it looked very similar to Southern Ontario. I was surprised. Really? I was like, this looks like home. Interesting. But I loved it there. I loved Dublin. It was great.
Did you, when you were touring, did you sample?
Absolutely. Well, they make you do the whole hike. They make you hike the whole thing for the pint. And I was just like, can I not have a pint in my hand while I do the whole thing? But I went by myself and I had a blast. I don't know about you, but traveling by yourself, it's amazing because you can do your own thing. You don't have to go by somebody else's itinerary.
Yeah, right.
Do what you want, and there's more random, single
Yes.
tickets for things, so you can
Yes.
kind of sneak into other places.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Well,
I was meeting up with people in Europe, and my husband and so I was like, well, I'm just going to do a quick little stint in Dublin, and it was awesome. It was great. I go back in a heartbeat. It was a great
it's a
city.
great place, isn't it?
Yeah.
It really is true when you do stuff yourself versus when it's pre-organized. We learned that when we were through a radio station I was on, actually two different radio stations. We did a cruise from New York to Bermuda. Bermuda is fantastic. Love Bermuda.
Nice.
But the first time we went, we had some things that were structured with the cruise line. And because I was the host of the show on the radio, it was Cruise to Bermuda with Jim Masters and all of the iHeartRadio listeners
Oh,
who
nice.
listened to the radio show that I was doing. So it was really, really cool. And, we had various events with the listeners. We all met at dinner. But generally, everybody was free to go and see and do whatever you wanted to when you were there. It was really cool. My folks came as well. It was really, really excellent. The second time we did it with a different radio station I was with and a totally different show I was hosting, we said, maybe this time what we'll do is we will pre-arrange, pre-book what we do when we get there. So, okay, at 4:00, we're going to do this activity. And then tomorrow at 10 a.m., we have to be here to go inside the caves and all of this. We'll never do that again.
Oh, really? What happened?
It just felt so rushing around and pressured. And as we were going to this thing, we'd pass that. We're like, gee, we'd love to stop by there, but we can't because we paid to go on this. And
Right.
it was like, and then this, I would not recommend this to folks if they're going on a cruise ship. And the cruise ship was great.
Yeah.
And you're going across the Atlantic to beautiful Bermuda. And the first thing you do after you've been on a cruise ship for several days, the first activity that you prepaid for is to go on a glass bottom boat. After you were just on a cruise ship in the ocean. Like we had to get off.
Wait, you don't let something land.
It was like, how did we come up with this?
We
just felt it was much more. Those midnight buffets are pretty good. Those drinks that they make in those coconuts with the straw. I mean, they won't even tell you what's in those things. And everybody does the electric slide. What's
the electric slide?
How does it sound? Da, da, da. It's electric. Everybody goes.
Oh, that's yeah.
They all dance together, and they always do that. Yeah. Right? They do that on the cruise ships and everything. Yeah. But Claire wants to say hello. And she's watching in the Philippines.
Oh, nice. One thing I did love about, I don't know, they would probably have them in parts of America too, but are those hop on, hop off buses?
Oh, yeah.
Those things are, I know they're corny, but they are a gem. Because you can, most of the time, whenever you get the ticket, you literally hop on and you have a duration, I think, of 4 hours or whatever to get back on the spot. So if you kind of do what you said, where you're like, oh, I want to go over here, you just get off, go do your own thing. Go grab a pint or go to the art gallery and then hop back on and whip around. But sometimes those corny tourist things are actually kind of worth it. You know what I mean? But yeah, I agree. Don't really book anything. Just kind of wing it.
Just go.
You just gotta kind of wing it and just go, and maybe book one or two things that you need a ticket for. But for the most part, I'm in the same boat. Just wing it. Just free it.
I'm one of those guys and the family knows this too. They're like, and my mother will always say, when you get in the car with Jim, you never know where we're going to end up. So we will get in the car, and I like to go where it isn't planned. So especially in the fall, we'll drive through the Northeast. We'll drive through New York and Connecticut and Massachusetts into parts of Vermont, New Hampshire, down, we're looping around maybe through parts of Boston, Rhode Island, and make a loop. And we'll stop off at little places we come across, little, cafes or places for coffee and cookies or whatever. Yeah, and there was and people will be in the car, the family, friends, they'll be like, where are we going? Where are we headed? I'm like, I have no idea.
I don't know.
The music is playing underneath. It's like we're in a movie, and the music is matching what they're visualizing, and I'm just driving along, and I have no idea where the car is going to take us. I'm not operating, the car is. So,
Yeah.
and it turns out to be some of the most spectacular times because there was nothing scripted planned. We didn't know what exit we were getting off. We just, hey, look at that over there. Let's go check that out,
Yeah. Yeah.
The best.
Did you grow up in a family where you guys did the Sunday drives? Get in the car, doing a Sunday drive.
Sunday drives, the parks on Sundays. We went to all the parks. We grew up out east on Long Island, so we have the Long Island Sound, which is between the North Shore of Long Island and the South Shore of Connecticut and New England. And then on the South Shore of Long Island, New York, is the Atlantic Ocean. So we always had access to the beaches in the summertime. And then, we would always parks on Sundays. And so I think that might be early on why I do like to be out in nature and don't get me wrong. I love cities. I love all that too. But there is something, as time marches on, you like to be out and I kept telling everybody when they were having a rough time with the pandemic, I said, you know what, go out in your yard. Gardening was like the number one thing people did besides baking a lot of sourdough bread. Get out in nature, go to the ocean, go to the mountains, surround yourself with squirrels or whatever it takes. Those things have no idea what's going on as far as pandemics or any of that. So if the world seems like it's upside down, uncontrollable, your entire history is being erased, you don't know what's going on. Go to the things that are going to be there tomorrow and were there yesterday. The sun's going to rise, the ocean tide's going to come in, and that squirrel's going to run around looking for an acorn so they have all the food they need for the winter. All those things, the rhythm of life still happens all around us, but we get so bogged down with the to-do lists and the emails and the texting and the social media and all this stuff we've created that when things go awry, we forget about the bigger things that are around us. And again, I've always been like that, even as a kid, aware of that. But the Death Valley sort of just solidified it. That's sort of a scenario for me.
Well, you honed in and you listened to, that inner voice talking to you that you needed to experience that. You know what I mean? And it's good because not a lot of people do hone in and listen to it. They're just like, oh yeah, I hear it. Yeah. Ding, kind of flick it away. You know what I mean? But for real, like a lot of people need to like really listen, follow their intuition, their gut, and just, like, it's like, okay, I need to go out for a walk. I just need like alone time, or I just need to, do this kind of thing. It's like, go do it. It's great.
Do you do that? What are some of the things you do to break away from, acting and movies and television and all the demands of that? What are some things that you do to balance things out?
Honestly, a big one is freediving for sure. Just going in the ocean and just, you're not focusing on anything. Your brain's just trying to like relax and trying to just focus on holding your breath. And you don't really have a million things going on. I call it like a different form of meditation. So you're just literally being present and just going down into the deep ocean, one breath, going down a line, and then you flip and then you come back up. And it is the most calming, recorrecting of your brain waves. I don't know. You got to kind of like experience it to like be like, oh yeah, I get it. Like some people are like, oh, I saw the light. I went through an accident. I saw the light, and other people can chime in and be like, oh, I saw the light. I get it. Where I haven't experienced that, where I'm like, oh, I hear your story, but I don't know quite what the light looks like. It's kind of like you got to like do it to experience it. I can tell you that it's very pleasurable. It's very endorphins come out of it. But for me, that's what I need that in my life. And I'm glad I got to experience it, because not everybody gets to have something in their life where they're like, oh no, I discovered this, and they can tap into it. So I'm super grateful that I can tap into it. And I live close to the ocean, so I can do things like this. You know what I mean? Right. Obviously you can do it in a lake too, but I'm very grateful that I'm able to do it.
Yeah. The tide and all of it. There's something about the ocean. Right. The tide, the rhythm of the ocean, 100%. The sound.
Exactly.
The feel of it. Yeah. Lisa Chandler.
Jim Masters. This was fun.
Are you going to tell the family you spoke to one of the other masters?
Masters?
I spent 2 hours with Jim Masters.
I do have a
look
Jim
it up.
Masters in my family line. I'm not gonna lie.
What, you do?
We'll talk. We'll
It's
talk.
probably, yeah, we're all James, and then
They're all from
it's
Ontario, and they're all from England.
really
Is
wow.
this where we find out something?
You know what's really interesting? Not on the Masters side, but on my mother's side of the family.
Yeah.
Huge family, youngest of 16 she is.
Yeah.
We did some
Swedish,
digging,
French, and English, right? Is that what you said?
yes,
Yeah.
right. And I think
Yeah.
there might be some Scottish in there, I was told, and maybe a little
My
Finnish.
language.
Really interesting that that amount of family. There's a lot of people doing a lot of digging. We have a lot of people all across the country that are part of the family too. So
Yeah.
this was interesting. Some of our relatives that are in Missouri
Okay.
contacted us, and they said, oh, we found 150 more relatives on my mother's side. We're like, really? Where are they? Are they in Delaware? Are
Yeah.
they in,
Do they mean alive?
California?
They mean alive, like living?
They are in New Brunswick, Canada.
Oh, wow.
They founded a mountain and a town called Kierstead Mountain and Kierstead Falls. And I think that they had come over from Europe, and then they came up through New York and then went up to New England.
Okay.
And then kept going, because if you look at the map,
Yep.
New England and New Brunswick, and then
Yep.
sort of curves to Nova Scotia and Newfoundland. It makes sense of that on my mother's side, that part, her grandfather, her
Okay.
grandmother actually came from Sweden. She was a princess. She lived in a castle that still exists in Gothenburg. And she was a princess, part of the royalty in Sweden. Her father was a general in the Swedish army, and they came over when she was a child. They came over to Boston, and the way the story goes, my mother still says, and her sisters and brothers, that their grandmother used to always say to them, I was a princess. And they, of course, when you're a kid, you're going to be like, sure. And I'm a prince, and all that.
Yeah.
Well, when they did some digging, she actually was. And
Really?
so, yeah, on my mother's side, and then her husband is that would be my great grandmother. Her husband, the great grandfather, is that Kierstead side that founded that whole area of New Brunswick, Canada.
Wow.
And so there's a whole bunch of relatives in that area in Canada.
You gotta go check it out.
And now you're talking about the Masters, and you have
that's crazy.
You have more than one Jim Masters in your life? How can that be?
I know. You got to go over there and investigate. Would you ever do the the ancestry or those ones?
I would. A lot of my relatives have been doing that on both sides of the family.
Yeah.
I would. Have you done it?
I haven't. My dad's contemplating doing it, but he's a Chandler. But my mom was contemplating doing it for the master side. So I'll fill you in. I'll send you the results. See if we can connect the dots. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to do it. They also say that if you have a sibling, your DNA is going to be separate than theirs, which blows my mind. I guess that's science, whatever how it works. But
you would think it would be
something stronger on the other side. But I'd be curious to see what my mom's side is as well. And just, I don't know, maybe go take a flight.
So what are your nationalities? English
and Scottish.
English and Scottish. Yeah. So that makes sense, right? It's, it's really interesting. And I'm sure the Masters relatives probably will understand this. I don't know if they've ever experienced it, but sometimes when I talk to somebody on the phone with customer service, and I'll say the name and I'll say Masters, they'll say, how do you spell that? Say, how do you spell Masters? I'll say, have you ever heard of the college degree or the big golf tournament they have in Atlanta? The Masters? The Masters.
What is that the reference that you give to people when you call?
Golf tournament, college degree, Masters. And then suddenly they know how to spell it. And I'm like, Masters.
Mine when they're like Chandler, they're like, is it Chandler? Like Chandelier? I'm like, no, Chandler. I know. I say, no, like Chandler Bing. And they're like, oh, okay.
That's it, right? Exactly. Yes.
Their face like either lights up or you can hear it on their front going.
And Chandler was the role on Friends that Matthew Perry played from Canada originally. And his dad was an actor from Canada. Exactly, right? Life is
There was
precious.
two people that really hit me hard when they passed away. Matthew Perry, just because I grew up watching Friends all the time. I had all the DVDs, season 1 to 10, watched them all the time. And Robin Williams. When I heard that he passed away, that was a hit. That was a real hit for sure. I don't know. Those are the two main people I would say that really, which is funny because it's comedy. Like they're,
Yeah.
they had layers, to
Yeah.
them of being serious, and obviously they had their own challenges. But those two, man, they were close to the heart, and they hit when they both passed. I'll be honest.
I don't want
Crazy.
Dick Van Dyke to go anywhere.
I know, right?
He's
I
just
know.
like
I know.
legend of legend of legend. And
Crazy. I just grew up watching him on oh my God, why am I
probably on the Dick Van Dyke show and all that.
Mary Poppins, sorry.
Mary Poppins, that's right. He was in Mary Poppins with Julie Andrews.
Over and over and over. Yeah. It was like
Chitty Bang Bang was the other one. And Diagnosis Murder, he did later years with his son.
Yes,
I think
that's right.
Jerry Van Dyke, right? Yeah.
I remember watching his brother. What was it? Jerry Van Dyke and
Jerry Van Dyke.
Right. Remember show Coach?
Yep, Coach.
That was a great show.
Yeah,
that?
Coach.
Craig T. Nelson.
Craig T. Nelson.
Yeah, that was a really good show. Yeah, crazy.
This was awesome. This really. Oh, the other thing that people do when I say on the phone, they'll say, what's your name? I'll say, Jim Masters. Is that with one M or two? Jim Masters? Is that with one M or two? If it was one M, it would be Jim Asters.
Oh, it's true. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah.
Or Jim Masters. Jim Masters. Is that with one M or two?
Interesting.
It's with two.
It's a call center. Okay. It's a fact.
It's a call center. They have a lot of calls. Not everybody's Smith.
Actually, there's a really good show called Telemarketers that was out on.
I think I heard about that.
Oh my goodness, that's a good show. That's a really good show, Telemarketers. It follows the life of about 5 people that were telemarketers.
Actually do that.
The exposure of it and
of what it's like.
It's a mini series. I can't remember what network it's on, or what streaming platform, but it's a good one.
That's
Telemarketers
cool.
is a good one.
That is cool. Yeah. Well, we'll mention definitely once again Billy the Kid. You said that's on Paramount Plus.
That's on Paramount Plus. Tune in
for that on Paramount Plus. Everybody,
now, season 2.
You'll see somebody you recognize who is our special guest here on the Jim Masters Show live entertainment lifestyle celebrity talk show series. Lisa Chandler.
Woo, thank you so much.
Lisa Chandler Masters Smith.
I'll take it.
That's it. Well, Ms. Masters.
Yeah, definitely.
That is so cool, that connection, the family connection.
We'll have to figure it out.
I'm making it a family connection.
Yeah,
probably.
We're cousins.
They say that we're all related anyway. That's why you should be good to people. You know?
Yeah, it's true. We're all one at the end of the day.
Awesome conversation, my friend.
This
you are.
Fun.
Yeah, you are welcome back to Lovely Hall and Jim Master Show anytime. We don't have to talk this long. If you have something quick, 20 minutes, whatever, you can pop on. As I say to every guest, we'll keep the porch light on for you. Spread the word about our show.
Yes,
other folks who think like to pop on for a quick chat. And I hope you enjoy the time with me as much as I absolutely have with you.
Nice and easy flowing. And it's so nice to learn, all your quirks and travel stories. I love it. It was great. This is awesome. And thanks for the
Wait, I was trying to hide the quirks. Did I reveal the quirks? Damn.
Not really. It's my quirks.
Let me rewind. She didn't mean quirks. She meant qualities.
It's my quirks, really. Yeah.
Right.
My OCD.
We all have them. We've all got them, and celebrate them, folks. Celebrate them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lisa Chandler, you're the best.
I love the lovely sign though in the back. That's great.
That came from Maureen in Arizona, the one that said Jeff Dunham. Yeah.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah. Nice.
She was in New York City, and I happened to be in New York City, and she wanted to hook up with a couple of friends of ours, and she's a viewer. When I was in Phoenix, Arizona on a TV shoot, that's where she lives. We got together, and then in New York City, we had dinner at famous Patsy's Italian restaurant.
Okay.
Frank Sinatra always loved it. A lot of people
Oh,
go there.
nice.
Tony Danza
Good.
hangs out there. It's a really cool place. I know that friends with the owner is a really nice guy, Sal. And she's a lovely viewer, and other lovely viewers we've gotten together with in the past. I said, hey, I'll come into the city and and it was great. And then she gifted me with that
It's
lovely,
great.
it says lovely spoken here. How cool is that, huh?
Love it. It's
We
great.
have
It's
great,
awesome.
lovely viewers here on the Jim Masters Show Live,
Yes. Yeah.
and great, lovely guests like Lisa
Thank
Chandler.
you.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
Well,
You got a good fan base. All the comments coming in. It's really sweet. It's
there are
really,
tons.
really nice.
They're still piling in, and everybody, if you want to comment, even when the show is not on, you can comment, of course, right at the bottom of the screen in the comments section on our YouTube channel as well. And if you enjoyed this, of course, give this episode a like. We would love that. Share it and leave a comment and subscribe to the YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. It takes a village. It takes a village. And there's 1,033, now 1,034 episodes that you can enjoy, including this one with our fabulous guest, Lisa Chandler here
That's
from
amazing.
Vancouver. Yes, and you were right. The sun went down.
Yeah, I had a
Nice
feeling
behind
it's
you.
happening. I'm just impressed that you have that many episodes. That's amazing.
Hosting and producing it. Yeah.
Yeah. Congrats to you. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of
Thank you
work.
very much. I appreciate that, Lisa.
Well done. Well done.
Really, really cool conversation. Best of the
Yeah.
holidays to you.
You too.
And let's
Absolutely.
definitely stay in touch. New friend
Yeah.
made, possibly new cousin made.
Hey,
we'll find
you
out.
never know. They're
Folks,
cousins down the line.
Lovedies, we'll do a little digging and we'll have her back and we'll do a big reveal.
should.
We are
We
masters
totally
in
should.
family, right?
We should do you send yours out, I'll send mine out, and we reveal them.
See, there's a reason for everything, and there's a reason why you came on the show, right?
Hey, universe is pulling us together for a reason.
That's it. And we love Leslie as well.
Yes. Lovely.
You be well, my friend. Happy holidays.
Happy
Thanks
holidays,
for all this great conversation. We said we'd do what, an hour? 2. We've done 2:06.
Really? Oh my goodness.
Doesn't seem like that, right? Everybody says it never
it
seems like that
doesn't.
because it flows.
I know, 100%. Yeah,
That's
it's just kind of, just keeps going. No pauses. It was great. Great conversation.
Maureen pops in again with the Lovety sign. Thanks again for being here, Lisa. Sending you tight Lovety hugs. Till we meet again.
Nice. Thanks, Maureen. That's great. That's awesome. Happy holidays.
Yes, you as well.
Yes, wish you a great Christmas, New Year's, and all the best for the Jim Masters show. This is great. This has been so fun.
Appreciate that. As my father has always said, and he told me when I was 7 years old, Jimmy, whenever anybody says something kind or nice to you, always say thank you. Thank them for that. And then ask them to please put those kind words in writing and address it management.
I like that.
So that's true, good. Right? That
smart.
Is so true.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Little Irish wit there.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, Lisa. You're probably hungry. You're gonna make a sandwich or something, aren't you?
I'm good. But I like where your head's at. All right. Thanks, Jim. All right. This has been fun.
You be well. Thanks, Lisa, for the time.
Happy holidays. Thank you.
Chat again soon and spread the word about the show. And congratulations on everything.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay.
All right. Take care.
All right. Take care. Bye.
Lisa Chandler here on the Jim Masters Show Live Entertainment Lifestyle Celebrity Talk Show Series. How cool was that? Gang, if you'd like to see the whole thing again, it is now fully archived on our YouTube channel, Jim Masters TV. Of course, we were live when we did this, fully uncut, live, unscripted interview, conversation. We really call these conversations. You can see it, you can share it, comment, interact with us, leave a comment underneath the YouTube episode and all the episodes you enjoy. And again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel as well. We appreciate our new friend of our show and possibly a cousin on the Master side. We'll find out. Lisa Chandler here on the Jim Masters Show Live series. If you guys enjoyed it, thumbs up, like. There's a little thumbs up icon on the YouTube channel for the episodes. Give us a thumbs up. Leave a comment. Interact with us. And if you subscribe for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. We have an international viewing audience, and we welcome everybody, regardless of what time you're watching this, throughout North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, Australia. The viewers come from everywhere. Kathleen in New York City says, thanks. Great show, Jim and Lisa. You are very welcome. And Merlin in Canada, who had a ball talking to a fellow Canadian tonight. Good night, Jim and Lisa, and all the Lovedies watching from around the world. Absolutely. We thank Maureen in Arizona once again for that. and Kathleen in New York for that star from our viewers. Really, really cool stuff here on set. This is your host, Jim Masters. We don't say goodbye around here. We say see you later. Ciao, cheers. Slancha, Auf Wiedersehen, sayonara, all the rest. Take care of one another. Love one another. Don't forget to catch Billy the Kid on Paramount Plus. She's in that. And look for Lisa in much, much more coming up. We'll keep you abreast of cool things that she's doing. And if this was your first time here, welcome to the Jim Masters Show Live series. It's so great to have you with us. This is your host, Jim Masters. Thanking you for your time this time. Till next time, come see us again. We have so many incredible guests that are joining us. Sharon Gless, who starred in Cagney and Lacey, is joining us in about 2 weeks, week and a half. We just had Linda Gray, star of Dallas. She was Sue Ellen Ewing on Dallas. She was just with us a couple of days ago. Lots of people watching that episode. And a lot of surprises. So it's all here for you on JMS. We'll see you on the next one. Thanks for being with us. We love you all. Take care and be well. Happy holidays and cheers.